This is the recording about a build for Smith of Kitava that might be useful for you if you are serious about Path of Exile 2, not for just casual playing, but for satisfying your research curiosity. First, let's start with easiest things, and I would like to show you that Smith of Kitava could be surprisingly unexpected. Why so? This build for me is not as I was thinking it should be, because it was an unexpected meeting of a special hat that really changed the whole build. This hat is here. It says the deepest tower Spiritbone crown. What's wonderful about it is this feature. This means that enemies in your presence count as being on low life. At first, I didn't really pay attention to it. Well, some sort of another junk rare piece. But then I was reading the passive skill tree and then I found out that it could be very valuable. Why so? Now, let's go to the passive skill tree. And click and look right here for low life. Well, you can see that some of them are blinking. It's like here, and first of all, this part, let's read through. It says that it increases damage with hits against enemies on low life, and there is a whole bunch of passives about it. This one, this one, this one, this one. You can read it for yourself, but let me show it in case you don't want to or cannot open the game right now. So you can see a lot of passives are about low life. Enemies that are on low life. And remember that hat enables you to deal all that damage on enemies against low life. These are not all the passives. Other passives. Let me show you. Where are they? Another group of passives that also deal with enemies on low life. Where is that bunch? Sorry, I could look like a little bit unprepared. I'm not really a guy who records a lot of videos, so not really very much. Yeah, here it is. Not really very much quick and easy blogger. So this one also. It increases damage against enemies in low life, and you see, each passive increases it by 30%. Crazy. I would say crazy. 120 increased damage with hits against enemies on low life. Okay, so you see that I put these all passives, and again with this hat. So this is indeed a central point of this build. It could be a little bit unexpected and not something that you would initially plan from the very start, because you never know that such a rare, such a unique item could be on your way until you accidentally see it. What are my other observations about it? Is the first one is that since you are playing a warrior type, that means a lot of close combat. You should be aware that in addition to this wonderful feature of enemies always on low life, you should also keep in mind that it has 50% reduced presence area of effect. So it compensates for that huge advantage, and it really affects style of your play. You always have to be close combat. You have to be because otherwise you cannot really utilize this wonderful capability. Now let's see which skills I have. Nothing really surprising, because it is of course lip slam, shield charge, shield wall. Well, hammer of God, not really much of use. Thunder 2. This one, Molten Blast. Molten Blast is also a must, even though it might look like it is a long distance aerial damage, but in fact the style that you need to use is when you jump into the middle of a bunch of enemies, of a mob, and then only when you are in the center of that crowd, only then you launch the Molten Blast. So indeed, in fact, Molten Blast is used also as a close combat feature, close combat attack, to utilize that unique feature of this hat. Okay? I hope you, at this point, you really get the idea of the build and how it is built and what it is all around. Regarding my ascendances. So also not really much surprising. Of course, I take Coal Stalker that helps to increase resistances, and surely things like body armor grants armor against chaos. It helps chaos a lot. And before I show you other points, I need to emphasize that another huge point of this build is based on life regeneration. Now I opened life regeneration and I don't know, maybe you may be surprised, maybe not. Look at here. 493.5 life recovery per second. Regeneration. For Smith of Kitava, for close combat guy, this is a must. You cannot really sustain your life when you are in the middle of combat if your life regeneration isn't really quick enough. 493 is good, and I could even make it bigger if I used another shield. I'll probably show you a little bit later which shield I'm talking about. That makes your life regeneration even like faster, plus 50%. So it will probably make it something like around 700. But like even at this value, I can feel more or less confident. So for Smith of Kitava, I take 5 here, leather bindings, 5% of maximum life per second. That helps a lot. Then of course increase strength and increase maximum life, because it all contributes to life recovery from regeneration. Another point is that all my set of items, they also utilize life regeneration whenever possible. But the most important one is this one. Look, regenerate 2% of maximum life per second. I found this plate accidentally when I was clearing some sort of a map, and then I found this piece of plate, and I never met anything like this anymore. It was like I could easily overlook it, but I was lucky. Other gear. Here, life regeneration, 16.5. Here, 16.8 life regen. Belt, 22.6 life regen. No life regen here. 19 life regen here. On shield. So shield also contributes 0.7 to life regeneration. So you could see that it's pretty much everything that I could see here is fine. And find is about life regeneration. And of course, you should probably always strive for increasing your maximum life, because the greater your life is, the quicker your life regeneration. So this is about the build. Quick life regeneration means that you don't really care much about your life flask. Of course, you use it in some critical cases, but generally speaking, you can concentrate on other events that is going on your map. Another point is that you don't really need a mana flask, and let me show you why I don't need a mana flask. And then I think this is probably sort of not really much surprising, because as you can see, I don't have any mana at all. And this is because I chose that skill that allows to do without mana, and skill mana cost converted to life cost. But because I have so quick life regeneration, uh, I don't really care much. And you should notice that when your skills are something like level 27, 27 here, 26 here, 27 here, your energy consumption, mana consumption is very huge. Look here, energy consumption is Islam, okay? Well, 214 mana for energy consumption, mana consumption. And of course, if you don't have very quick regeneration of that resource, you really cannot use much in a quick succession a lot of mana intensive skills, unless you have have this feature, something quickly regenerating like life regenerating in my case. So I can really use all those expensive skills and use it in a succession without stop, because life regeneration allows me that. So basically this is it for the build, and now I think you probably want to see what is the real life usage of it, so how it affects my gameplay. And before let me close this, before I go to a typical map, level 80 typical map, I should point out that there is a drawback of a melee, of such a melee close distance build, and that means that whenever you decide to get your force ascendancy, you will be suffering a lot with your honor, because you will lose honor very quickly. Because as you know, whenever a monster hits you during especially like a test of will, the last test, or what was it, test of mind? I forgot. Well, anyway, the last part. Whenever you reach that part, you have very hard time of defending yourself without being touched, because every time a monster hits you, you lose honor. And because you are a melee close combat build, you always have to be close to your enemy, to your mob, to your monster, and that really will probably mean that you will have difficult time of getting the force ascendancy, because I struggled a lot. Okay, so now probably time to go show you what it means to run such a guide. Let me open my device and choose something. Here, I failed at Store Citadel. Let's take something, I don't know, what would be a typical map. This one. It says +1 to monster, delirium mirror, expedition, map post. Let's put something typical that probably you use all the time. So this is the level 15 map, and I don't put all those many, exalted waystones, just some sort of typical. relatively easy, but still it should probably be like something that you would use. Okay, let's see how it feels to run such a build. As I said, you are a melee guy. You really have to come close, hit hard, and then hope that your build really lives to what up to its promise, including life regeneration. Look, probably try to notice if my mana and life flask empties or not. It doesn't empty. This is how it goes. And this is the Molten Blast. You see how Molten Blast works when enemies are nearby.
Fear will best you!
Kills everyone on the screen. I wouldn't touch this shrine because what? All those enough. That mob gets wiped quite quickly. Azure element, that's on the you are really close. Okay. You jump in the middle, then you do Molten Blast, and then of course shoot charge. And in some cases, it's also okay to use that skill for that. It's a really nice long range skill, but you really can't really use it much because it's not.
Feel my wrath!
Come. So try to notice how quick it is. Jump and then hit. It takes so long, like few seconds, and sometimes you don't really have that time. But in some cases, especially in narrow corridors, this is something that I really need. I think this is it. Let me stop here, and I hope you got the idea. Okay. Bone Shatter. Very underestimated skill. Probably next time I'll tell why I really enjoy Bone Shatter a lot. One Bone Shatter may, one well-placed Bone Shatter may kill a whole bunch of monsters.
Hello there! Meat creature!
Alright. I hope you enjoy this video like first time ever.